Jesus Christ is our righteousness, but in us, it is an unfolding process. And so as we look at righteousness, but let me give you a couple of other metaphors for righteousness. When somebody, if you lived out on the West Coast and you were in a surfer community, you would hear terms like, that was a righteous wave. Well, that means that was an awesome, awesome wave. That was one of the best waves. It did what it was supposed to do. It was something that gave me great joy. Righteousness is not supposed to be, it isn't designed by God to bring you down, but like a wave to lift you up. That's a righteous wave. Now back in the early days, if you were old as dirt like me, you know of the group, the Righteous Brothers. Well, they weren't particularly righteous as far as outward actions is concerned, but what were they trying to convey? What they were conveying was that they were trying to convey that they had the best music. This was righteous music. This was great music. This was the cream of the crop. They were saying, we are the cream of the crop. You know, and the cream rises to the top. And so as you allow Jesus to work within you, the cream of his righteousness will rise to the top. But if you try to make it by just simply focusing on your own efforts, although we do have things we do to cooperate with him, but we start someplace else, then that righteousness begins to take effect like cream rising to the top in our lives. Another illustration, a metaphor for righteousness. When a ship would come into harbor, they would shoot off a cannon that notified the people in the harbor they needed to send a boat out. I'm glad I'm not the one that had this duty. But they sent a boat out because before the boat was allowed into harbor, they had to make sure it was righteous. And what did that mean? They had to make sure it was free from anything of the plague. So the job of the people coming out to that boat was to make sure the boat was righteous before they allowed it. We also know into harbor. Righteousness has to do with things being straight. If you have to send for Roto-Rooter to clean out your drains are not righteous in a literal definition of what righteous means. If you have to get that toilet unplugged, you haven't got a righteous toilet. But the Roto-Rooter hopefully will make your toilet righteous. In other words, it takes out all of the impediments, the blockages, the thing that keeps the path from flowing straight. So a righteous person is one who has developed a straight path in their life, and it's a process of developing a life that has a lack of hindrances that block up the flow of the Lord in their lives.